Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Armando F. Sanchez. Thank you for being on this program. And I am really excited about today's show because it's something that, oh, thank God, I can finally relax when I go to a formal dinner. I go to so many events. I'm very grateful that I get invited to different corporations, say, come here, come there, or, you travel and you're informed, you're going to meet executives. You go to places, very formal locations, you sit down and you look at the table and you see all these plates in front of you and you see all these eating utensils to your left and to your right. You got water in front of you, and then the table is crowded and you've got all these wonderful people around you. It happens a lot to me because I lecture on cruise ships. So I'm constantly in a formal setting, sometimes even with the captain of the ship. And you think, oh my God, what am I going to do? What's the right thing to do? And you start freaking out. Well, we got somebody in today's show who can teach us. That's what she does, is help us navigate through the formal process of dining. It's so important. It is so critical to have these skills. Thank you for being on the show, Mina.
And thank you for the invitation, Armando. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, I know you started a company recently. You're the CEO that educates people about how to use the table settings and all the processes before and after and in front of the scenes. Tell us the name of your company and tell us, why did you start this company?
So the name of my company is Prestige Protocol. And I formed it for the very reason that I wanted to create the opportunity for others to learn this very important life skill of dining etiquette, of business etiquette, and all the etiquettes that are involved with how you dine and how you present yourself as a young professional or executive.
Now, as a and even people that are not in the professional worlds, like quinceañeras, there's weddings, they have the same need, right?
Absolutely, they do. This is open to, I think, everyone from children through the whole gamut up to, like I said, an executive, because there's so many individual events in between and life celebrations that this is like, it's overseen. There's such a lack of it. And unless you're going to get professional training at a particular event that you're going to get ready to go to, such as your own wedding or a quinceañera or a bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, it's all of those events that if you get personal training for that, you're good to go. But what about everyone else that, we go to events and we go to many of them and all we do is we're surrounded with food. We need to know our best placement.
Where did you learn this? How did you acquire this knowledge?
Well, I can say that it started as far as my own personal interest at home, which because of the positions I've held in working in industries, I really felt it very uncomfortable not knowing how to be a guest with someone at an event. And that happened and this was happening while I was in high school, quinceañera in particular, weddings, all the way through my 12th year of high school, right? And I'm like, I know something's different, but my culture at home taught me many things, and I just wanted to expand more. Opportunity came up to me when I actually started in a company where I was attending several events on behalf of the company. And later, as the company got more involved with community activities, I was that representative. And I was very proud to be. And I started to say, something, I'm watching everybody. There's a style to this eating. There's a format here. There's a formality. And so my interest just peaked and peaked more and more. And I just started doing this on just self-knowledge.
Now I understand that you also work for a major worldwide corporation, and you were doing this kind of training also in-house. I understand this?
That is correct. That is correct. So I am going to take you back as far as where my journey started. And I have a 34-year career with the Boeing company up until 5 years ago when I retired. And I was in positions that I was involved with. The product line was extensive, and who I supported made quite a difference in the levels I was involved in and having to represent. And I'm talking at as an executive, administrative assistant to the top level executives, for the presidents, for the vice presidents of finance, and senior scientists. Everyone in that spectrum, thought they knew how to eat. And then after I kept seeing things, I just said, wow, there's a lot of culture involved here. So I took a very peak interest. I got educated by going to the Protocol School of Washington, got the approval through my executive management, and I was able to go and do that. But it took many years to work with the global customer, to understand and feel that you can actually do something and know how to manage better and navigate yourself in business meetings. Then I took the interest about the dining etiquette, the business etiquette, and it goes from there. International protocol, I dealt with it just about every day. So I personally had to get trained. So I took that interest, asked my management for approval. I took my course. I was certified in 2009, and in 2012, I started my company and I founded Prestige Protocol.
Well, I'm so happy that you're taking the information from very high-end corporate world and now making it available to the public as well. So I'm really thrilled to be part of that process where you're sharing your knowledge. Let's take a few moments here because today our show is very short. But could you give us a little bit of an example, like part of your education when you share information? Give us a little piece of, given you're using the silverware that's in front of you.
I have in front of me a display that I wanted to present, briefly show you what the main items that are going to be on a table always you will find, which is a napkin. And you will always have utensils. And you will have whatever menu is your course that's going to be provided in front of you. So this is just a display, but I am going to just show you briefly what we're going to do. There's always a napkin, and you have an option of knowing that if the napkin is placed in front of your plate, as it is here, it's because of lack of space around you. That person who has, invited you to the event, or there is somebody who is actually in charge of whatever it is that is providing you the plate serving, they find it too tight of a space. There's no space to put the napkin anywhere else. This is an option here, okay? But what is always going to be your normal is going to be the napkin is placed to the left of your forks, and it's going to be aligned with your forks. You always have, and it should be always, folded with the corner facing the plate. So what I'm going to do for purposes of the time that we have, I'm going to just show you that you have half of it is folded. You're going to put the folded side up against your body, and you're going to just make sure that it's covered completely on your lap. Don't go too low on your lap. You want to keep it as close to the stomach as you can. Okay, so just drop it there, and we're going to have that. That is the most important thing to start your meal.
Has anybody ever stuck their napkin in their?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you, please do not do there. Don't go there. There's special places, but just about everywhere. I mean, you might go to Boston, and there's going to be a whole things. There's a gamut of seafood items and all that. Okay, well, if you up there, then that's because the culture of that restaurant is going to give you that. But do not do this anywhere else when you're in. Don't do this. Please do not do this and go like this.
Okay, let's scratch that one off my list. I won't do that anymore.
Okay? It doesn't look that cool either, okay? And we're going to go about that later. But again,
Okay.
the brief time that we have here, one of the things that I wanted to emphasize is the fact that we always have two main courses, okay? So we're going to have, in my presentation, I have a soup rim bowl here, very shallow. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put that aside because right underneath it, there is a salad plate. And that salad plate is usually something that people start with, not necessarily a soup. But for purposes of today, what we want to make sure, it's always placed on top of an entree plate. And for those that are going to be a little more, involved and elaborate with their plate settings, they have what they call a charger or a service plate, never removed from the table. Those plates always stay firmed, never removed, unless the waiter moves them. So to start with this very quickly, we're going to start from our outside in. That's usually your cue. Your cue is going to be either you're going to have a salad bowl here or they bring you the salad. That's another story. In my case, I'm just showing you the bowl real quickly because I wanted to show you how you're going to use what's outside in first. Remember, I told you two key things before the entree, and it's going to be the soup and the salad. So to my right, I happen to have a spoon, and I have the round spoon. I brought it to show you this particular spoon is for like clam chowder, things like cream soups, because of the shape that they are. If it's going to be another kind of soup, like you're going to have, maybe it's going to be a puree of some kind. There's another, and it's a little larger. So whatever it is, the point is that I'm showing the various soup spoons that you have. Normally, you're probably going to have one. The main thing to remember about a soup spoon is that you are going to always go down into the center of the plate. You're going to push away from you. Imagine your plate and your soup bowl and your salad plate. Always 12 o'clock in the front. If that is the case, you're going to go toward 12 o'clock and bring up your content, your soup, and you're going to bring it up. And you're going to bring it to you. Watch how I'm bringing it to me. I am not going down. Okay, it comes to you. You do not go down to it. Not in a formal dining setting. Okay, and when you are done, because it's so shallow, it's going to be okay. Either you leave it like this and they take it away from you. Let's say that has happened and that's gone. The next thing they're going to do is they're going to bring you a salad. Not necessarily do you always have a soup. So if it's salad only, then you're going to start with your salad fork, which is the shortest of the two forks that you have to your left. And then what you always have, if you see two knives, the reason for those two knives, very simple. You're going to have a salad, but you're going to need to make sure you get your points and everything in your hand to where you're going to hold it very steady, okay? The handles are made for you to grip and to just love and just, enjoy that meal. What's going to happen with the salad fork and this is you're going to place this once you are done. Remember I told you about 12 o'clock? You're going to put it to 10:20 with the blade going in, and then your fork is this way. Or it could be face down. If you have food on it, that's okay. It's your placement. This tells service wait staff that you are completely done and it's removed. You have other items left over, and you're going to have this knife and this dinner fork. Dinner knife, dinner fork. And that's for your main entree. So what we're going to do is talk about a lot more of this in future series, and I hope that I am able to explain just the basic of everyday dining.
Very important, very essential. Well, that already helps me a great deal to begin to navigate the use of the utensils and know, like you say, just using the spoon away from myself instead of toward or not leaning into it. So I'm already registering and writing down all these notes. What is the name of your company and how can people contact you?
The name of my company is Prestige Protocol. I am available through LinkedIn, Mina Martinez, in 2010. You'll probably find me that route faster. And I have a business email. And that business email is info@etiquetteseminars.com.
How many steps would you say are in the process? Because we didn't even begin, and again, we're running out of time. We didn't even begin with the cups, positioning. Like you say, you're sending messages by how you place your utensils. I'm finished or whatever. How many steps are there? Would you say 20, 30 steps to really getting all aware of all the processes?
There are a number. I think I could say 30, I could say 50. It just depends on the formality of the dining table setting. It could be very basic, but you could probably go through 10, 15 steps very easily and know them. The comfort that I hope everyone gets out of something is the fact that you want to get confidence, okay? What you're going to be doing when you go to other events. It could be a one-on-one. It could just be a dine out with your date or your spouse or in a group setting, which is really, really nerve-wracking. So learn your placement. A BMW, we'll talk more about that, which is your bread, your meal, and your water. Basically, that's another 20 steps more to know, but as I explain it all, it's a matter of how you grasp the navigation. Very simple. Once you do it once or twice, piece of cake for everybody. I'm serious, Armando.
Okay. We're getting ready to close the show, but one of the things I want to ask again, please, could you give us your contact information once more? And then I'd like to hear your closing statements.
Sure. So Prestige Protocol, I am on LinkedIn. You will find me under Mina Martinez 2010. And I have a business email, info@etiquetteseminars.com.
And your closing statements.
So what I'd like to share with everyone is the fact that Prestige Protocol has an opportunity to share classes, workshops, seminars. The importance of all of this is the simple fact that we want to make sure we educate those that may know and have some awareness of any type of dining is wonderful. But how about expanding that a little better? In today's world, we have so many different ways of exposing ourselves now. And I've been involved as an advocate, an educator, in community involvement. I've seen so many things, and I do mentoring and open doors for people to try to make sure that they can put their best foot forward. And that's what Prestige Protocol is all about. So I really encourage people to do their best, if not through Prestige Protocol, get enlightened by taking a course.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm Armando F. Sanchez, and we've had the pleasure and the honor of having a person who has always been a mentor to me, and this has been extremely helpful, and I'm sure sharing it with everyone. Please feel free to contact her at Prestige Protocol. Mina Martinez, thank you for being on our program. I look forward to the future series where you're sharing with us how to use and navigate through other areas of the table. And it's critical. You're expected as a professional. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. And for events that we all cover within our lifetimes, it's important to know the process. And it's take it very seriously. And, like you say, you've dealt with people, probably presidents of other parts of the world and in tables, and there was a process, there is a system, and we are expected to follow those protocols as well. So thank you very much for orienting us in the culture of the etiquette, and may you continue with your success. And thank you very much for this insight already, even today's show.
Thank you, Armando, for the opportunity. And for all of you, there's an opportunity. You can do it.